She's a 7-time Emmy winner, a 2-time Tony winner, a Grammy winner, and an Oscar nominee. Please welcome the legendary Lily Tomlin.
Oh my gosh. At least wait until I leave. Thank you all. Thank you all. Well, I didn't expect that after South Park. I first met Sheila Nevins in 1977 when she was working for CBS on a show called Who's Who, produced by the late Don Hewitt. The show wanted an interview with me, and one day Sheila was at my door. The show was called Who's Who, but I didn't have any idea who she was. And she didn't, I thought, had just barely knew who I was. And then she interviewed me. And I bonded with her over that interview. And somehow I wanted her to be my friend and us to be friends and girls in Hollywood or something, just friendly, wonderful girlfriends. And we sort of did do that, except she was always much more ahead of the game than I was. And over the decades that followed, I got to watch her develop into what she was always destined to be, a powerhouse producer. And one of the most important voices in documentary filmmaking. She went on to win more Primetime Emmy Awards than anyone else in history. Sheila is fearless, darkly humorous, amazingly creative, and obsessed with telling stories that are not only highly entertaining, but reveal the truth. She championed countless filmmakers, made taboo subjects impossible to ignore, and understood something a lot of people didn't. She made documentaries must-see TV. Under her leadership, HBO documentary films became the gold standard for nonfiction storytelling. Watching her work is like witnessing an architect erect a skyscraper. She has a vision of the structure, knows how every piece fits, and has a passionate belief that the project is worth building. I was lucky enough to work with her on 2 very meaningful documentaries, The Celluloid Closet and An Apology to Elephants. And I saw firsthand how deeply that passion fueled her. It's that passion that pushes her to get to the heart of the story and not to stop until she does. I'm grateful to know her. I'm so grateful I got the chance to work with her. And I'm proud and very grateful to call her my friend. In fact, I've kind of taken advantage of that, you know. If I'm thinking of an idea, I'll pick up the phone and just dial her and say, Sheila, what about blah, blah, blah? And she usually says, why mess with something that's so perfect? I say, let's take a look at her remarkable work.
May I cut in?
Why, certainly.
Boys will be boys.
如果我们那时候在上课的话，我们全班人都不得上网。 这里是我们的学校。
兵的同学就3个工，好同学。
让他们有了之后。
When I'm building Legos, I feel like I can create my own world and kind of go into that place where, you know, everything is based on my rules. I didn't put myself in front of you to have you feel bad for me. I put myself in front of you to let you know that you don't need to feel bad for me, because I want you to get to know me. This is my life. And this progeria is part of it. It's not a major part of it, but it is part of it.
और जब मेरे पास ख़त्म हो गए, इसने गालियाँ देनी शुरू कर दी, मारना शुरू कर दिया। जब मैंने देखा कि हमारा गुजारा बिल्कुल नहीं हो सकता, मैं कोर्ट चली गई। तो कहते हैं कि तुम मुझसे तलाक चाहती हो, मैं तुम्हें मज़ा चखाऊंगा, मैं तुम्हें दुनिया के लिए इबरत बना दूंगा। ये कह के उन्होंने 1 मिनट नहीं लगाया, उन्होंने मुझे तेज़ाब दिला दिया। जब इसने डाला भी 1 नंबर था बैटरियों वाला, तो उसने 1 सेकंड नहीं लगाया, 1 सेकंड में मेरी ज़िंदगी बर्बाद कर दी। 1 सेकंड।
The RPG just came straight through my shoulder and then exploded right next to my head, just behind me. If I ever have a kid, I wonder if they'll love me, like, for who I am. I hope so.
What were you just thinking about?
The reality of, you know, will I be able to raise a kid? I won't be able to pick up my son or daughter with 2 arms. I won't.
NYPD is hot on his trail, saying what he is doing around the 5 boroughs is vandalism. No one knows who he is or what he looks like, even though he's been around for quite some time.
With Banksy, you never know what happens tomorrow.
There's no business like show business. But there's no people like show people. There are people like show people. No, it's true. No, that's true. Well, the smiling when they're low, that's schizophrenics are like that. Oh, really? So
today is tomorrow. If you do too much blow, I'll stay or I'll go. But I'll never say no.
my daughter.
I've been very naughty.
You cannot be safe.
Tonight, Sheila Nevins joins the Television Academy Hall of Fame. Sheila unfortunately couldn't be with us, but she sent this special message.
Hi, I'm Sheila Nevins, and I'm sorry I can't be there today. I managed to get COVID and a touch of pneumonia, but I'm feeling much better. Just can't really travel. I'd like to thank a bunch of people, a bunch of important people. First and foremost, Dr. Fauci. If it hadn't been for him, I think I might have gotten really sick because I was running around not knowing what I had. Finally, I got tested, and lo and behold, they said, and they were right, you're lucky you got the vaccine because you're going to be over this in 5 to 8 days. And it's true. This is the 8th day, and I'm testing negative. Thank you again, Dr. Fauci. I'd like to thank the people that I'm sharing this day with. It's really quite astounding. Jean's smart, funny, respect for age, beautiful, and most importantly, after so many seasons, able to earn the same amount of money that the men earn. Terrific. I'd like to thank Ed Bradley. I remember those days at 60 Minutes when people could say what they want to say and do what they wanted to do. So, thank you, Ed. You were a great newsman, a great reporter, and brave. I'd like to thank the South Park geniuses for allowing the oligarchy to be punched through animated characters who don't seem to matter, when in fact, they can really say, Americans are getting fucked. I guess I shouldn't have used that word, but I can't help it. And I'd like to thank Ted Danson. Ted, you took a documentary, not you, but a group of people took a docu and made it a very successful series. How important that is to base narrative on true stories and make people understand the true infuses fiction. So thank you for that. That really was quite important. And before I wish you all a good evening, I want to thank the people that made this possible. Tony Magnan, Rick Rosen, and Patrick Doody. Thank you, guys. I know it wasn't easy filling in a sicko. I shouldn't say sicko, a sickly person. Maybe a sicko, too. Thank you. Good night.